You're live.
What happened? Hey guys, it's your girl Sunny D. Welcome to tonight's show. Guys, y'all want to say hi?
What's going on, good people? You already know who it is. It's your boy Smooth. What's going on?
What up, though? It's your boy Willie Styles in the building. Glad y'all could join.
Yes. We got a great what is this? The Monday and chill? What?
Yeah, we got a Monday night chill on deck.
Yes. So that's what we're gonna be doing tonight. So you can chill back, pour your drink, do whatever you do, and come chill with us. Definitely join the conversation by looking. If you're watching right now, you're on YouTube Live, or if not, you're on Facebook Live. So tap in and join in. And if you want to join the conversation, hit us up, and we'll add you into the conversation. We can see you up here with the rest of us. But we're here, of course, Monday nights at 10 p.m. YouTube Live and Facebook. Hey, Dame.
Dang, what's up, Dang? What's going on, brother?
What's up, family?
Yeah, and if you don't catch it live, you can always catch the playback 24/7 on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Google Play Music, Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, and Blog Talk Radio. And of course, the replays on Facebook and YouTube. So it's there. It's always on demand. So you miss it. Oh, I missed it. Just go and press play. Very
simple. Right? You never miss the show. You can never miss the show.
Exactly. Don't mind my table. I got everything back there. But what I was gonna say, go cop some merch. I don't have any on. I plan to, but I did. I plan to, but I just woke up like a couple minutes ago. So get some merch. Go to teespring.com/stores/GFT Radio. Cop some merch. We got cups, mugs, pillows, everything. Clothes, long sleeves, hoodies, all that. Kids' clothes, get it all. Go there, support us while we support you guys. And like I said, all your money goes to make sure that we do this amazing podcast, because podcast costs. It ain't cheap. It ain't free. Especially when you do as much as we do. So support us. Do that. But that's about it.
Wait, it's not free?
Ain't nothing free in this world, that's for sure. Ain't nothing.
Exactly.
I feel like a freeloader now. I didn't know that.
It's free for y'all to watch it.
Right.
Nah, I gotta contribute somehow, man. Hey, but we're gonna keep getting that cousins discount, you know what I'm saying?
You know what?
We charge you, don't worry, we're gonna charge you full price for those t-shirts, Damon. Don't worry.
Support Black podcasts and Black businesses without extra discounts.
Right.
That's all I'm gonna say.
So we have
shout out to my baby. Yeah, shout out to my baby. She graduated on Friday. She is now, she's been a college student. She's been doing EOF on for her college, so that's really dope. But she officially graduated high school. They had a graduation. It was really dope. How they did it was as fuck. Of course, if you know me, I had to cut somebody out. It's just protocol. I can't.
It wouldn't be right. It wouldn't be right.
I want to shout out my brother too. I want to shout out
he graduated too, right?
Brother, Willie, he graduated. I want to let you know I'm proud of you. Know what I mean? So it was dope.
Yeah.
I'd like to graduation and shout out to Big Willie Styles, class of '94, Cass Tech.
I'm like, what is he talking about?
You know what?
Hey, this was our reunion show. We just went on the class reunion last year. So.
Before Rona. Before Rona.
Before Rona.
We're supposed to have a prom for our reunion, a 20-year reunion, but the way Rona set up, this might be in the way.
No doubt. Yeah.
And I was happy because I didn't go to prom, so I really wanted to go to this adult prom because I want to show out and just get all cute and be like, yeah.
Yeah, you know what? When I went to prom in '94, we didn't have music, so our prom was kind of a bust. They have somehow broke the sound system, and we ended up, just kind of doing our own thing. So yeah, definitely shout out to the reunion crew who got everything together so we had music at the reunions. So we were good then. we had kind of a social, or not social, what they call it, like a formal and everything for our 20-year. Our 25, we did a cruise, so that definitely did everything that the cruise had to offer last year. So like you said, thank God it was before Rona, because that would have been canceled. I was supposed to be in San Diego this week for Comic-Con. So shout out to the Comic-Con folks who are going to be doing virtual Comic-Con. And
I want to go to a Comic-Con. They have one in New York and one in Philly, and I wanted to go because my people will be there.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
They got one in New York too. Yeah, they do have New York.
Yeah, they have one in New York. They had that.
The SEC is going to be virtual this year, so they got to make do. So
it's not the same.
I wanted to go see people.
I know, me too. I wanted to see the cosplay and all that good stuff. So all right, we can get down into it. I wanted to start off with a topic I was going to do last week, but we didn't really have a lot of time, and I know we had a bunch of stuff we were trying to fit into a short amount of time last week. We actually did did about 2 hours last week instead of our usual 3 or 4. So, so we had a lot to fit in. But I had found this article on BBC News. I didn't really look for it in the American sites like CNN or anything like that, because once I had found it, I was just like, okay, cool. So this article was about North Carolina, Asheville, North Carolina, and their unanimous approval of reparations for slavery. So they have decided in the small little city of Asheville, in the heart of North Carolina's Blue Ridge Mountains, to approve financial reparations to Black people. And but what they're doing is it's not direct payments, it's financial compensation in such a way where they're going to put the money into areas where it'll build generational wealth, like housing and for people to buy houses, for businesses, things of that nature. They also passed a resolution to apologize for their part in systemic racism there in the city of Asheville. So the resolution also apologizes for the city government's historic role in slavery, as well as its role in discrimination and oppression of African Americans. So the money, like I said, is going to go towards affordable housing, business, and home ownership, career opportunities, as well as strategies to grow equity and generational wealth, closing gaps in healthcare, education, employment, and pay, neighborhood safety, and fairness within criminal justice. So shout out to the Asheville City Council for figuring out a way of doing some type of reparations for slavery. But what do you guys think? What do you guys think of this method of reparations?
Oh, stop going up. I'm reading.
Oh, sorry. I scroll a lot. My bad.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah, I think it's a wait to see thing. It's a remain to be seen. Like it's easy to say we're gonna put money into different situations, affordable housing. Let's see if it really go there. You know what I mean?
Right. How is it managed? Right. Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, and is it really going to help African Americans and or other minority groups going to get lumped in with it?
Mm-hmm.
You feel
yeah.
me?
So that was my thing.
Yeah. So it says the neighborhoods. Anybody can live in that neighborhood.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So I was thinking about that standpoint of it, and in terms of how could it be totally targeted, right? I see it working in the respect of African American heavy or African American heavily populated areas, but like you said, there's going to be other groups that can still benefit from it. There's going to always be somebody who's going to take advantage of the opportunities that are being pushed through these bills and using it for their own gain, regardless of their affinity to the group that should be benefiting from it.
I feel like they should just cut a check, and everybody stop worrying about what everybody else do with their money. You feel me? Like, I think we get too caught up into, we gotta have this particular plan. Like, nah, let people do what they're gonna do. If some people want to waste their money spending it, then let them waste. That's their God-given right to do whatever the hell they want to do with their money. Y'all found money. Y'all talking about y'all ain't had no money. Y'all found money for these for the stimulus. You about to do a whole nother stimulus. Mm-hmm. Found trillions of dollars out of nowhere for that.
Right.
So you know what I mean? For the whole every adult or working adult, what have you, in America. You found $1,200 for them, their kids. You feel me? Like you can find. You feel me? We don't make up that many people. It ain't that many of us in America. You feel me? So you cut us all a check and let everybody do what the fuck they want to do with their money instead of all this, you know what I mean, fake stuff. Man.
Yeah, there were two things that stood out for me in this bill. The first thing was the way they were going to pay for these reparations is through taxing the cannabis industry in that area. So first things first, they're going to make use of money that they don't have yet, right? They're going to make use of money that they're planning to tax. Legal cannabis, not to say that that's a business or a market that we're going to spend a lot of money in, but I'm sure there's going to be a percentage of people of African American heritage that are going to be spending money in that. So they're going to basically pay for their own reparations. But also, the other thing that stood out to me was I looked at the demographics for Asheville, and one thing that stood out is that Asheville has a population. Give me a second. I want to share this screen. Asheville has a population of 92,000, and oh shoot, I just shared the same screen. I'm getting it together, guys. Give me a second. They have a demographic of 92,000, and to Clint's point, it's did I make it too big?
No, you're good.
Is it? Okay. To Clint's point, there's not a ton of us because even in Asheville, population of blacks is 11.3% or 11.7% rather, and the what they say the Hispanic, even the Hispanic population is up there at 6%, right? So it's not like there's a ton of us in that area. So there's definitely going to be some overlap when it comes to the benefits that are going to be presented by these measures, by these opportunities that they're going to put out there for businesses, for affordable housing. But another thing that stood out even further down here, for people owning their home, living in the same household, 82% of the people in that area have been in the same house for more than a year, right? So, or the same place. So what that really tells you is that there's not a lot of movement, right? If it was in the 60s, if it was in the 50s, then you'll see more movement of people moving around, either be it maybe college students, maybe people, finding jobs in certain areas and moving around or moving in or moving out. What it tells you is that the people are they're there. They're there. They've probably been there, and they've probably always been there. So there is going to be this shift of opportunities, and it's going to be the question of to who. You know what I mean? So these reparations that they're going to be paying is again, who's really going to benefit, And like you said,
I also want to state, I want to give them credit for attempting to do something.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? And maybe if big government sees small government, state, city, local governments doing something, taking action, maybe that'll trigger something that'll go up top. Maybe it'll
motivate them to do something more. Yeah,
you know what I mean. So, and maybe that little gesture right there will spread to other municipalities and stuff, and they'll start doing stuff, making an effort until we really get what we deserve. And so I do want to give them credit.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to crawl before you walk.
Right.
And so I give them credit for that.
Yeah, definitely, no doubt. It's a huge step, in the right direction. Now, they're not the first city to do it. Evanston, Illinois also did it in 2019. So Asheville is joining them as the second city to approve reparations in the United States. So it's definitely, like you said, a movement that will hopefully at least give them the right idea of what needs to be done. I mean, I think, like you said, that there's two positions in this. There's people who feel like this is the way to get reparations through community assistance, helping people get homes, helping people, build that wealth, that generational wealth we've always talked about. But then there's people, like you were saying, Clint, that feel like it's something that needs to be given to the people directly so that it benefits the people directly versus us making it our business to decide how they spend their money.
It's like pay us for what happened then, but we have to use it for what's going on with us now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like, y'all can't dictate. I don't want y'all dictating to us how y'all gonna you know what I mean, our reparations. You feel me? Just pay us. Give us what we're worth, and we'll do what we got to do from there.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? But like I said, this is the first of me hearing of this, and I didn't know that. What you said, Evansville, Illinois?
Yep, Evansville, Illinois. Yep, Evanston, Illinois.
Evanston, okay. So I gotta look that up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I've heard that.
Exactly.
I heard about Evanston when they did it last year. I didn't know what their plan was, but I just had kind of heard talk of that they had passed it, that there was going to be some movement on getting the reparations set up and everything. So this is going to be interesting to see how like you said, it's going to be interesting to see how they manage it. It's going to be like, how successful will they be at making this mean something, at making this, count in the communities where it's either needed or that should be benefiting from it.
Mm-hmm. And shout out, I want to give a shout out to Yvette Cardinal and Tone Talk. I can't think of his real name right now, because even though there's been stuff on the Senate floor for reparations for decades now, trying to get passed. And I believe we talked about that before. Mm-hmm. But Yvette Cardinal and Tone Talk, they brought it back to the forefront, live and direct, into everybody's face, especially with the ADOS movement. That, in my opinion, Yvette Cardinal and Tone Talk, they spearheaded. They're the leaders of that movement, in my opinion. And so, I want to give a shout out to them because they brought it back and made the conversation, like they brought it back to social media.
Right.
Yeah.
So that conversation spread. Yeah.
And those who didn't understand it or know about it got to hear about it.
Yeah. They break it down. They break it down perfectly. So I tell people, to our listeners, if you Yvette Cardinal got her own YouTube channel. Mm-hmm. Tone Talk got his. It's called Tone Talk. And they work in concert with each other, but they do their own individual thing. And if anybody want to get a quick education or a thorough education on reparations, check those two people out. Check their websites. They were supposed to have this. I don't know what's going on. I haven't followed. I gotta check in on that. It was supposed to have this big old, conference that they was planning. They were supposed to do this year, but I don't know with the pandemic and everything going on. I don't know what happened with that. But they were supposed to do a big old conference, and a whole bunch of people was gonna come out. So I thought that would have been dope. But I'm glad reparations is the conversation is being had.
Yes. Yeah. No doubt.
I know we talked about it on past shows too. I believe, I don't know if it was Brittany or one of the other young ladies, they normally join us for live shows. She was talking about if they didn't hand out actual money, like Clint was saying, to do it where it benefits us, like where it's free school.
Yeah.
Like stuff like that. So it's benefiting, benefiting us, but our kids. So they can go to school for free. We're not in debt. Like stuff like that. Would be a good idea too. So like, the kids, college costs $1 billion. We're taking out loans. Do it to where if our kids decide to go to school, they don't have to pay for anything. We don't have to pay for anything. You just can go. stuff like that. Just to get them a better education, so that way it could be more or have a more beneficial career, whatever plans are to do.
Right.
That type of thing, because education is essential.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. I think that's a whole nother conversation we need to have.
Yeah.
About education in America, because I think we're falling behind. You feel me? Like we're really falling behind as far as education as a whole in America compared to other countries. And I gotta ask my friend, because he had sent me an article before, and I forgot it was a link to how even when they set up our educational system, how it wasn't designed for us to be intelligent. It was really designed for us to basically be like drones, like robots, like so to speak. Like they educated us. They educate us. They're not really teaching us how to think. Yeah, you feel me? They letting us know what they want us to know, just so we could be part of the workforce. You feel me? They just want a bunch of workers. They train us to be workers instead of, you know what I mean? Because independent thinkers, they can't control independent thinkers. So if you have a nation full of independent thinkers.
That's crazy, because I was just reading in my school in Western City, they talk about the what they call it, I don't want to say free thinkers. I forget what the term is exactly, but they're the people that were perceived to be radicals, like Voltaire and different people like him that were basically like challenging the status quo, and people were saying that they weren't, because they were having people like think about what's happening, like, cause that's back when they were doing the like similar to what they're doing now, judge, jury, and like people were tried, not really tried, but killed for crimes they didn't commit, stuff like that. And it wasn't, I see a dog got one of our shirts on, he'll come in here low key with a shirt on. Okay.
Dog representing. That's what's
He's
up.
only one representing.
Shut up, Dame.
I'm playing, so
But yeah, like those people, like they were considered radicals at their time, because they were going against the grain. They were basically fighting for the moral of the country, because people were doing things that weren't like right. They're like, yo, y'all not like, y'all, this is, and they were like getting shunned, excommunicated and all this stuff, because they were saying to people like, yo, this is wrong. This is like take a look at what's really happening. Don't get caught up with the glamour. Like, this is really happening and we need to stop it. So like that. So when you challenge or go different from the grain, then they're always going to make it seem like you're doing something wrong when you think outside the box.
Right.
I think, was it Dog or somebody who said one time when we had this, we talked about reparations, and we was talking about like, shit, clear my credit. Give me a great credit score.
Yeah, that was another thing too. They talk about that too, the credit.
They that was Dog.
Yeah, that was Dog. I really said that. You know what I mean? So like with me,
Stalin.
He came in to get his credit. Now he left.
You know what I mean? like do something for us that's going to like really help us move forward now.
Exactly. Because credit is credit is a big one.
Yes,
that's
true.
It's a big one. It's like I said, bad credit versus no credit is horrible.
Mm-hmm.
Just was having that conversation today. My sister got a young not young guy. He's a little bit older than me, but not that much. But he was buying a house, and he was talking about the challenges he faced as a black man. Not even like a black single man buying a house. It was like this big to do, and it's sure. So we were comparing notes about, we were talking about that the other day about what it took for me to buy a house, what I needed to get, and then the extra steps he has to go through. And it was like basically the system is set up to make you not want to be involved in it. But you got to kind of know that this is all you're going to be. They're going to ask you for everything except for your DNA, to do all this. And if you're a working person that got stuff going on, and like all the stuff that you're asking for, it makes you think, do I even want to go through this process? They make everything so hard as opposed to somebody that's not looking like us, that got the money and that don't have to or can go through a loan process but got way more money. It's easier. Like it seems like it's we all got to do paperwork. But
I'll vouch for the system. It's that part of the system is not specific to anybody rich, poor, otherwise.
Yeah.
I actually I used to be in construction, and I actually had a person come in and wanted to pay cash, but there was
had to go through everything
they had to provide in order to do that. Like you just can't come and pay cash for a house. It doesn't work that way.
But not even that. It's like it's different to the program. You know the standard issue stuff you got to go through when you buy a house. Like it's just different.
I agree.
Different stuff, but it's just certain.
There's a lot that's involved. Yeah, there's a lot that's involved in the process that can discourage people and can really turn them off. And if you go longer than what they call your lock, then you have to do that process all over again. Yeah, and provide all that same information, that same documentation. And it can get very, very, very frustrating for people because it's a lot, like you said, they're diving deep into your finances, into your, everything that's about, your process to get this loan as well as to get this house.
Yeah. And if your credit score is not as good, like if it's like a 630, that's considered on the low end.
Right.
So you got more stuff to prove. Like, okay, your credit score says this, so how are you going to do? Like, so credit is a big factor in that, and I don't think people realize that, or like I know a lot of people need to learn about credit repair. There's all these different programs out there.
I think what it is, I think people realize it. I think every adult knows, unless you're living under a rock, you need good credit. You need a certain, you know what I mean? The problem is that you're alluding to it. I'm glad you brought up credit repair is most people don't know how to fix their credit or to build their credit. You feel me? And that lack of knowledge makes people back off. You know what I mean? So it's a lack of information. You feel me? That really, if you just go look for it, you can find it. It's really easy to find how to build and fix your credit. But a lot of that stuff, just a normal person don't like doing. They don't like doing. It's tedious. That tedious stuff, like they don't, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. They don't like paying attention to detail. And when you, like you saying, when you buying a house or you doing stuff like that, detail, everything's in the details. Most people not detailed. At least that's how I see it.
Right, no doubt. Hey, dog, did you have a comment?
I'm still trying to get a good connection. I don't come outside. I'm still trying to catch up with the conversation.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you clear on the audio for sure. We got you on the audio for sure. All right. Yeah. So the one thing when we were talking about the education portion of it, I just found this article from PolitiFact, and one comment that they made that I realized when I read it was that it says that the case of the United States is one of the most complicated because you have 50 different educational systems, and the term educational system in the United States is a very vague term. It doesn't exist like it does in other countries that have centralized education system. So, thinking about the fact that we have every state does their own thing. And then you go into some states, and really, when you tell the truth, some states have multiple school systems within or educational systems within that state, right? Because each type of school may be doing their own thing, be it public school versus private schools versus charter schools. So there's definitely not to say that that's a huge disadvantage, but that causes some discrepancies in terms of how well or not well we do against other countries when it comes to our educational performance.
Facts.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was about to say I was just going to share this chart too that kind of compares the different education systems across the world, and I can get this thing to zoom in a little bit better. I can show you a little bit better what it was showing here. That of course, Singapore is at the top there with the math. United States is down here, and this is what they call this is a PISA test scores. So we're behind the country of Macau, of all places, as well as other Asian nations. And then in reading, we're still below countries such as Singapore, Canada, even Ireland in terms of our reading scores. So, like you said, there's definitely evidence to show that we not even have fallen behind, but we've always been behind a lot of the leading nations when it comes to education, and how we're preparing our youth for the future. And to your point, Smooth, is that we have people who they may get into programs that can teach them entrepreneurship, but it's not something that's pushed, right? It's not something that's taught at the lower levels when it comes to elementary school, middle school, things like that. A lot of that is they're basically being prepared to be workers.
And also, I think it depends on your area too. Like for urban areas, they're not ready for engineers and politicians. Those people are special, unique individuals who sought out to be where they're at, like doctors, lawyers, and whatnot. The people in our areas are made for McDonald's, fast food restaurant manager at best, or maybe retail manager, not somebody who's a CEO of something, not they either a wannabe rapper, somebody who wants to be in the entertainment business, which is fantasy jobs. Only a few select people who actually make it. They're very special individuals
now
to make it.
So, quick question for you guys: what do you think would be the response if, let's say, a school system said instead of sports and maybe even art, we'll replace that with financial and entrepreneurial classes or curriculum, rather?
I think that'll be dope.
Instead.
I think that'll be dope. I mean, not to say, I wouldn't say X out sports and arts altogether, but have that as an option. Like you can have that. I know when we were growing up.
What if you didn't have an option? That was their proposition. They said, you know what, we can't do both. Well, we can do, because you got to do your core. Got to do your core. But instead of these these extracurricular items.
See, art is a tricky one, bro. Like sports, we all right, whatever. Fuck sports, but like I love sports, but at the end of the day, like Dane was pointing out, sports, to be a professional is damn near impossible in any sport. You know what I mean? So like that's a pipe dream. But art, bro, like art encompasses a lot. It's more than just, you know what I mean? That is an
creative mindset.
Yeah, within itself.
That's what creates engineers, people like that, people that got that innovative way of thinking.
Because a lot of art is, it could be breaking down mathematically.
Yeah.
You feel me? So like you know what I mean? It's a science base to it. It's a certain art and all that. So like, I think, in my opinion, art should be promoted more. Way more.
We have schools that are dedicated to STEM.
Yeah, exactly.
So
yeah.
Like it is some schools
that
have the core.
That don't have sports. That don't have no sports at all. You feel me? So like in certain high schools now, in certain school districts now, the art program is gone as well. The music program is gone.
Yeah, and that's crazy.
You feel me? Like, you know what I mean? So a lot of that stuff is already going on. Mm-hmm. Me personally, I think all of that should be involved in school. You know what I mean? I think you should
bring back woodshop.
Yeah, certain schools still had the vocational stuff, but like simple stuff, like not even simple stuff, but like gardening. Yeah. Exactly. All home skills. See, balance bank, if you took accounting or anything or marketing and stuff like that, you learn how to shout out Mitch. Bashir, what's good with you?
What up, story?
Yeah, now I mean, a lot of that stuff you learn in accounting one. So I learned that in high school. Balance. I learned that actually as a freshman, balancing my bank account.
Yeah,
checkbook and all that. I learned that as a freshman. But stuff like gardening, You know what I mean? Like real life skills that you need. You know what I mean? That we just don't have anymore. Most people don't know how to grow their own food.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Most people don't know how to grow their own food.
That's true.
Now I mean, and then we got to start dealing with society as it is today. Mm-hmm. So society as it is today, transportation is everything.
Right.
You feel me? So like I was remember debating somebody on Facebook about this, a good friend of mine, a couple people. I was like, yo, certain little basic mechanical skills on fixing a car should be taught in school. Now I mean, it should be required, not an option. Not, you know what I mean? Like all this stuff should be, a lot of stuff should be required.
Something as simple as checking your oil, filling your tire with air, pumping gas, you know, stuff like that. That stuff like that definitely should be stuff that, you know, they should be teaching, as well as how to check your tires if they're, you know, need to be replaced. Maybe even changing brakes. I mean, I learned how to change brakes just watching somebody do it. You know, I saw somebody do it. I'm like, that's simple enough. You know, pop a wheel off, pop the pads off, and good to go. You know, each car is a little different in terms of taking the caliper off, but you know, you just learn as you go. But if that's something that you can learn up front to kind of get a basis or a basic knowledge of how to get started on something like that, you know, you definitely go a long way in terms of being able to maintain your vehicle.
No, what you just said about cars, it's funny you said that about changing oil and stuff like that. Some people don't even know the basics of what cars need, what type of fuel to go. Like, saw a video of somebody trying to fuel up a Tesla at a regular gas station.
Oh wow!
Yeah, there's actually a video of this, and I'm just like, okay, this guy, he looked it up. He didn't, he just got the car because he saw the license plate, temporary license plate, and he's looking around all over. He looked in the hood, on the trunk of the car, the hood. He looked it up on his phone, and you just heard him yell like the biggest F-bomb. He just lost. So simple stuff. Some simple stuff.
Even do it yourself stuff around the house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm one of them people. I fix my hot water heater.
Yeah, like a lot of people.
My hot water heater.
Yeah. See, most people don't even know.
Change the filter on the furnace.
On the furnace.
Oh, yeah, I did that too.
I learned that at 10.
Some people don't even know how to light the pilot.
Yeah, water heater.
See, I don't know how to light. I know how to light it, but I just don't do fire. But my hot water heater self ignites. It ignites on its own.
Fire bag.
But like the one on the I'm like that. I don't play nothing with fire. But even my stove, when the pilot light go out, I call somebody else. I know how to do it. I'm just not gonna fucking do it. So I need somebody to save me. So.
Fire bag.
It's some instances when I'm a girl. Those are one of the instances.
A lot of life skills. I think life skills shouldn't even be an elective. I think it should be a required class. The objective should be to send very functional, highly functional young adults out into society.
Exactly.
Each generation of kids should be more advanced than the other. But when you think about it, like how a lot of the skills, you know what I mean? If a lot of this stuff fail, you know what I mean? A lot of like basic skills we don't have no more.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, go ahead, bro.
Oh no, I was going to ask a question after you were finished. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm finished. Go ahead.
Like I don't want to go too much far off topic, but do you think history needs to be taught after you get past a certain level of education? Because history is written by the victors, and we see how history has been changed or narrated for certain people's purpose.
Are you saying should it be taught?
No. After a certain level, like should be so focused on and maybe replaced with those life skills that we need, like balancing checkbooks, simple stuff like changing anything around the house.
I mean, I remember in high school, as far as we did history was 9th grade. We didn't do history after 9th grade, so
it was like government.
Yeah, I mean, after that we had stuff like government, civics, stuff like not civics. What is it called?
That was
like
kind of a
science type stuff where we learned politics and stuff like that. But then even then, that's only 10th grade. Then after that, we didn't have nothing else to do with any of that stuff. But I did go to a technical high school. So that might
yes, you did. Yeah.
I think
you went to a freakish nature of school. Yes, we know.
I think we did U.S. history too up until my junior year.
Yeah.
If I remember, but like I said, you know, I don't have a problem with teaching history, but you know,
it shouldn't be manipulated to make it you know, to whitewash it or to make it less horrible. I mean, it needs to continue to be as bad as it is, or shown to be as worse as it was. You know what I mean? Because the whole migration thing that they want to call they changed, and I think it was in Texas. They changed the slave trade to the Great Migration of Africans, the African migration. That's some bullshit. You know, no, we don't need to whitewash history. And like you said, that whole history is written by the victors. That's got to change, where it needs to be truth in history put out there. There's some things that they're just not going to tell you. I mean, that's one of the things I was going to bring up in my next subject is, you know, there's certain things that are manipulated in order to make people look good in a historical nature. I mean, I'm afraid to see what this Trump administration is going to look like in 50 years when we look at it in the history books. But, you know, in terms of and I know to Clint's dismay, the Obama administration is going to look like it was heaven. But you know, I think that there's always some aspect of history that's going to be washed away with time. But that's one thing you can't wash away. This ugly scar of slavery can't be washed away. This ugly scar of Jim Crow, of Reconstruction, all of that can't be washed away, and it should not be. And it needs to stay. It needs to be hyped up if we can.
Facts. That's what I was going to say. And I want see, you got to be careful too, because you know, like we all basically pro-black on here, but you know, there's a lot of propaganda too within the pro-black. So we can't, even with history, like you said, we want to hype. Some certain stuff need to be highlighted more. Certain stuff shouldn't be whitewashed. A lot of truth need to come out. But also we can't fall into the propaganda, you know what I mean, of promoting false information as well with history just to make us look good.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like we have to tell, if we're going to tell the truth, you know how it go. You got to tell the whole truth, the good, the bad, the ugly, the ugly. You know what I mean? So like all of it come with it. And we just have to deal with it. And certain things we just have to accept. You feel me? With history. I was reading an American history. Like I was reading this article because and all of it stemmed from, that's why I'm glad that Nick Cannon thing kind of happened, because a lot of conversations we having now. It stemmed from like how the Nazis, you know, I can't believe I'm forgetting that motherfucking name right now. Hitler. Jesus Christ.
Right.
Whoa. Some names you need to forget.
I said it, but my mic was muted. Hitler, and I'm like, wait a minute, it says mute.
How did you forget that guy?
Some names need to be forgotten.
Yeah, but check though. Hitler, I was reading this article I just read the other day, where they were getting how to treat the Jews. They were getting their cues from America, from the United States.
Really?
You feel me?
Yeah.
He realized. I'm gonna see the article. Somebody sent it to me.
I thought I sent it to
you. Yeah. I don't think you sent it to me.
I sent some stuff on Instagram. I don't know. I sent so much stuff to confuse you and Will. So
yeah. But anyway, she was like, his advisors and stuff looked at the United States and look how they became the most powerful nation in the world back in like the 1930s and all that. And he realized the only reason why they became the most powerful nation in the world was because of what they did to us, to our ancestors, to black people. You feel me? How they made us the lower caste of society, how they kept us down and basically, you know, used us to feed their pockets, you know what I mean, so to speak. So he used that, he took that template, and that's how he treated the so-called Jews there. and the black people there too. He was trying to use that the same exact Jim Crow, all of that. He was trying to use all of that, the same thing the United States was using to in his country, so they could become the powerhouse that the U.S. was. You know what I mean? That was his thought process. But then, later he took it further to where he wanted to rule the whole world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's when he was like, all right, we trying to exterminate everybody. That's when he took it to another level and start killing them, putting them in the gas.
I just watched
all that.
I just watched something. I just watched the thing. They have a thing about Anne Frank, and they were talking about how basically he killed way more kids than he did the adults because he wanted to kill the future.
Right.
Like he wanted to kill off any, a lot of the kids did survive, but that was the whole purpose, right? First he was just killing all of them. Then he was like, it was like this ideal of let's kill all the kids. So they were like not even taking them, like they were taking them to basically death camps. Like, all right, y'all, like y'all not, we need to kill y'all or experiment on them because they didn't want, like they didn't want a future for most of the Jewish folks. Like there was no legacies. Like it wasn't that as many legacy kids that survived that because they basically like let's kill everybody off. Because once the adults go, they were up in age. By then, it were going without any more kids. A lot of them, a lot of adults survived without all their rest of their family. So they were systematically killing most of the kids, like most of the bodies from the Holocaust were. I mean, they were adults too, but they were a lot of them were kids.
A lot of kids and men.
Yeah.
Because you kill the man off, basically. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We impregnate your woman. Those offsprings are ours. You understand? But if we kill the kids and we kill the man, we'll kill you. You know what I mean? That's how we destroy your future generation. And you see that's how they do it with black folk.
Yeah.
The same exact thing. They try to destroy, emasculate the man. You feel me? And then rape our women.
Right.
And that's what they did but that racism got so deep to where we believe that one drop rule. You know what I mean? One drop of black.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like, and that ain't necessarily how it goes. But we believed it. They done indoctrinated us in it. And that's true. What I mean? That's how it goes. But it's ill. When I read that article, it was ill to see how like wow, how America tried to had such a high moral compass, the moral code.
I knew he was going to say that the high moral compass. Our boy, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, you should be ashamed, America. and then Louis Farrakhan reiterated it to I think it was Ed Bradley, or was it I can't remember the journalist's name who had made the statement to him about things that he should do, and he was like, "What do you mean you should do? What about what you've done?" I gotta find that. I gotta find that interview. I mean, that was powerful because he kind of broke it down like like America, you're the one who took this land from an indigenous people, and you're the one who forced those people out and tried to.
That's the crazy part. So it wasn't even. So we can't even say that it was America. It was the European people that came over.
Well, that's what I mean.
And did that, and like they looked at the slave trade, like I said, because of my schooling. And I mean, this is nothing new. We've been on this history road before, but like I think this class made it get more in depth with me because they had we had this other book that basically is like writings from people during history, like during that time. And this one excerpt I read in this book, it was this guy, he basically had never seen a white person before. Offhand, I can't think of his name. But he basically was living in Africa, minding his business, and got sold by black people to these white people. He had never saw white people. So when he got brought to the ship, he was brought by people that looked just like him. He didn't understand what was happening. And then he had his first encounter with a white person, and he was looking at him like, who the hell, like, what the fuck is this? he thought they were magical people because he had never seen those people before, and he was basically giving his whole account of him being brought to the slave ship and what the realization of it was like during the travel, getting to where he getting to the U.S. and then being sold and stuff like that. But he was explaining, like, just his explanation, explaining his journey was like, it was crazy because we were so, even though we all grew, like we all were from Africa, it's different. Like, to understand his issue, he had never seen so many things that certain Black people had already seen before. So when he finally started talking to people, that he had to first figure out how to understand them because most of them spoke all different languages. But he talked to a couple people. He had never saw horses before. He never saw white people. So he thought they were magicians. He thought like went through an array of emotions, and he was trying to understand how did this happen to him and why would his people bring him here. And
yeah, we talked about that. Remember, we always say, like, we always think we not know one group. You feel me? They brought from, you know what I mean?
From all over.
Different
from
tribes,
all over.
different tribes,
different
areas.
And different tribes caught and captured other tribes, warring tribes. So, you know what I mean? If you're a captor of mine, I'm selling you.
Right.
You feel me? And they were selling them. They were selling them for weapons. They was giving them away for weapons and stuff like that. To guess what? To fight other Black tribes. You know what I mean? Africa was had its own internal beef going on. Yeah. And them the Dutch and Spain.
They had slaves in Brazil. They were selling them everywhere.
Yeah, they came over there and they just capitalized off of it.
Yeah, and they basically looked at it as free, and that's the only reason why, like, the only reason why this all like started was because they were trying to find a cheaper way to mass produce different stuff. And instead of paying people, it's like, oh, I got these people. You ain't got to pay them. Let's do this. And it was looked at as a money.
I found the video. I want to show it right quick.
Please do.
I'm about to get me a bottle of water.
Oh, Wallace.
Which is, if not the most corrupt nation in Africa, and it is, it could be the most corrupt nation in the world, Minister Farrakhan.
Oh, now, Mr. Wallace.
It is the most corrupt nation I have ever covered. I've been there 25 years ago, and I've been there as recently as last year.
Fine. So what? 35 years old. That's what that nation is. Now, here's America, 226 years old. You love democracy, but they're in Africa. You're trying to force these people into a system of government that you just have accepted 30 years ago. Black folk got the right to vote. You're not in any moral position to tell anybody how corrupt they are. You should be quiet and let those of us who know our people go there and help them get out of that condition. But America should keep her mouth shut. Wherever there's a corrupt regime, as much hell as America has raised on the earth. No, I will not allow America, or you, Mr. Wallace, to condemn them as the most corrupt nation on earth when you have spilled the blood of human beings. Has Nigeria dropped an atomic bomb and killed people in Hiroshima and Nagasaki? Have they killed off millions of Native Americans? How dare you put yourself in that position as a moral judge? I think you should keep quiet. Because with that much blood on America's hands, you have no right to speak. I will speak because I don't have that blood on my hands. Yes, there's corruption there. Yes, mismanagement of resources. Yes, there's abuse in every nation on earth, including this one. So let's not stay holy to moralize on them. Let's help.
I'm not moralizing. I'm asking the question, and I got an answer.
Why would you put it as the most corrupt regime in the world? That doesn't make sense.
Can you think of one more corrupt?
Yeah, I'm living
in one.
I'm living in one. Yes. He's done a hell of a thing on this earth, so you should not be the one to talk. You should be quiet when it comes to moral condemnation.
My man.
Moral condemnation. Okay.
And it's the truth. I mean, It's the truth. It's the absolute truth. I mean, this country, not we, them. This country has no right to chastise and condemn others for the ills and the wrongs and the atrocities that they've either participated in, inflicted, and even what's the word, financed and perpetuated through their own influence. Definitely has no right.
That's crazy. That was
what you said. You said you had something else you wanted to get into.
Oh yeah, I always got something else I want to get into. Yeah, I got a laundry list. I keep a laundry list of topics to talk about.
Not Kanye.
No, I ain't ready for Kanye yet.
Okay.
I really don't even understand what happened with the Kanye situation, other than he tried to lie on my girl Harriet.
I just want to.
Basically, Kanye is just a distraction. He's not going to distract us tonight. Sorry, we don't have time for entanglements, and we definitely don't have time for Kanye.
No, I just like to say, just get him some help.
Yeah.
Obviously, he needs help. Mental help.
Entanglement.
No. That video.
All right. So this was the question of the night: are children abandoned by one parent usually abandoned by that entire side of their family? Now, it wasn't a question. It wasn't a question on the forum I saw it on. This was a statement. Somebody made the statement that children abandoned by one parent is usually abandoned by that entire side. And the person who posted it said this was the truth. And then I had several people in that group say the same thing, that that's 100. Word is bomb. Blah 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 blah. So, what do you guys think about this?
Can I tag me in first? Tag me in first. So I'm just gonna say this. I'm just gonna say this. So usually when you have, I don't want to say, oh, don't put me on like that. Come on now, don't do that.
Put you on the spot.
Don't do that. But like, here's what I will say. When you have an absentee or a iffy or sometime parent, it is very hard, depending on the family, because it's not true. I'm going to say it's not true, but it is some truth to that. It's not true in every circumstance. It depends on circumstance. But when you have an absentee parent or a sometime parent, it is more likely not their responsibility to make sure that you know both sides of the family. Now, coming from my own personal experience growing up and where I grew up, my dad was in jail for the better part of my life. I think I met my cousins here and there, but I didn't really. We didn't have a relationship with them because they weren't. I can't say we didn't have a relationship with them. We did to an extent. It wasn't until we got much older that we really got that bond of family from that side of the family, because we didn't really get to know them. We didn't really. Like, without him being there, I guess it was more so like we saw them, but it wasn't like, hey, come to my house and sleep over. Like how my mom's side of the family, everybody knows them. Even people that's not family knows them. Everybody was over there all the time. We would go over there without our mom being there. Like, it just was like, our family. Whereas my dad's side of the family, it was not. It wasn't necessarily like my mom's side, but we did get to know them. We did. When we saw them. Like that, but it wasn't until we were older that it really it took for us cousins to really bond each other and get to know each other more and build a relationship. So I think it depends on the family, because you do have some families that if one person if one's being a deadbeat or not being there or not being present for whatever reason, then you lose that side of the family, because that family doesn't feel like there's either you have the other parent that feels like it's not their obligation to make sure that person's family is tagged in all the time. Like, I invite my son's family, side of his family, his dad's side of the family over all the time. Do they come? No, but they're invited. Every function he has, birthday parties, whatever, they're invited. Whether or not they choose to come, they choose not to come. That's on them, but they're invited. I'm extending that branch for y'all to come be a part of his life. If you don't be a part of his life, you can't say that I didn't tag you in. Whether his dad is physically out here or not, you can come. If you choose not to, whatever relationship y'all do or don't have is on you guys, because you're invited. So same with my daughter's family. I invite them too. Y'all come, y'all don't. but it's not my responsibility to make sure that they have a family, that they have parents for that.
Right.
They have another parent that says, if you want them to spend time with your family, tag your family in because I'm doing it. Maybe if they participate, maybe if you join in, it'll happen. But it does happen that way sometimes. I'm not going to say it's a wholehearted fact for everybody. It depends on the situation. Some people have that. Some people may have a relationship with the family members that they don't like them anymore because of whatever they did prior to the child coming in. But I'm a person of, it doesn't matter whatever we got going on. That's still your family.
Right.
Whatever our relationship is, the other co-parent relationships are. It has nothing. One has nothing to do with the other. If you grandma, you're gonna be grandma. Or if you grandpa, you're gonna be grandpa. Or you're gonna be auntie, you're gonna be auntie.
Right. Go ahead, Clint.
All right, a lot of people ain't gonna like what I got to say. First off, I'm gonna agree with Sonny. There's no uniform answer to this. All families are different. Every situation is different. You feel me? Yeah. But nobody's obligated to give a fuck about you at all. Be clear about that.
Yep.
Especially if and I tell women, you gotta be careful who you have a baby with, and fellas too. You know what I mean? Because it's not the family's responsibility to be in your child's life, especially if the family don't really fuck with you like that. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's one thing you gotta. You know what I mean? People be bringing these kids in this world for selfish reasons, and then these kids gotta suffer because mommy wanted to have a baby because mommy didn't love herself enough, so she wanted the baby to love, so she had a baby by some trifling ass nigga. You feel me? Who family don't give a fuck about him, so their family don't damn sure not gonna give a fuck about that child. So now that child has to go up and ask mommy, well, mommy, why daddy? Where's daddy's side of the family? Oh, then mommy gonna lie to the child and say, oh, daddy family don't fuck with us. They never gave a fuck. No, that's not true. Daddy family may not never knew about you, or that daddy family may not care about him.
Yeah.
So they ain't not gonna care about you. You know what I mean? Or some, you know what I mean? So like everybody, that abandoned word, abandoned who? Now I mean, like as a child, you think like a child. So as a child, it may hurt you, but when you grow up and you start to deal with reality, man, like that's it. Like listen, that's it. It is what it is. It is what it is. Sometimes we grow up in fucked up situations.
Right.
You feel me? Sometimes we got fucked up parents, and we got to work through their bullshit. Mm-hmm. You feel me? That they put on us, or put on their children, or what have you. But this abandoned by entire side of the family, you know, like
that's
sometimes
more, it is what it is. If like I know one of my friends has a kid with somebody that their family like they wanted, like, you know how they wanted their person to be with somebody else. Not that this person did anything. They just wanted their son to be with this particular type of female. She is not that particular type of female. She ain't a bad female. She just not what they saw for him. And it's a racial issue with it too. So they don't fuck with her or her kids. Like at all. They fuck with their son. They don't fuck with the rest of them.
And son can be around. These days probably still wouldn't miss kids.
And it ain't incumbent on another man or another woman to take care of somebody else's child. You feel me? That's just good character of that person. But a person is not obligated to take care of somebody else's child or being in somebody else's child. That's a decision you made. So that's why sometimes I get real frustrated at a lot of women who be complaining about, oh, I gotta raise this child on my own. Well, you knew that going in. A lot of y'all knew that going in. Like, I don't want to hear that. You knew you had a fucked up baby dad. The baby dad probably told you he didn't want to be in the child's life. You feel me? And yet you still had the child anyway, and now you want to complain. And now you want to complain about the kid's family not being involved. They don't have to be. You feel me? They don't have to be involved at all. You feel me? They are not obligated. They don't have to speak to you. They don't have to acknowledge. Nobody has to acknowledge anybody else's child. Nobody told you to have that child. You feel me? And that's as a child. When you grow into an adult, you will learn that. You feel me? You will learn that.
Yeah. Damn, you got a comment?
I gotta filter what I say because I'm kind of close to this situation actually. Have a family member who disowned their kids from his first marriage. And it was kind of touch and go because he was playing both sides. That family member was playing both sides, his wife and his kids, and his original family, his biological blood family. And for years, they did not like each other. Once he disowned the kids, it was an ugly rift, and the two sides came together and just had a conversation. And everything is cordial, everything is cool now, but he caused a drift in the rift in that family that, it's probably gonna be, you know what kind of damage is done, long term. I know one side is cool, you still don't know how the other side feels. You know what I'm saying?
So they when you say they had a rift, you mean like they stopped messing with each other and weren't looking after the kids in the middle, thinking that there was some kind of conflict?
It was. I'm trying not to say what I really am saying.
No, I feel you. Now, if you got to protect the innocent, I feel you.
It's bad. It's like they were young at the time, but now it was skepticism on both sides. You know what I'm saying? And it's a touchy subject because it's very close to me. Yeah. You know what? I think you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, no,
I just want to say on air.
Yeah, for me, I went through that personally in terms of, my mom was with my father in I think in the military for so long, and then when I was probably 7 or 8 months in the womb, they had a falling out or something happened. There was a conflict, and so my biological father decided to basically, abandon my mom with a kid on the way, and in a way, she kind of knew that there was going to be either limited or no support, right? But what she didn't anticipate was that there would be like, he would just not even care because he already had so many children. But then I look at it from the standpoint, like Clint was just saying, in terms of looking at it from an adult point of view, a more mature point of view, is because I've seen it in other people's lives too, is that, my biological father had like 8 or 9 kids. And then, to be with or to have a kid with a woman that he's not even with, meaning that he's not introducing her to the family, they're not interacting with her, she's not having a relationship with them. So what reason do they have to seek her out or to even care about one more kid that this guy is having? Because who knows what that relationship is like between him and his family and his inability to keep his dick in his pants. So I think that there's that issue too, because that happens a lot. There's guys out here. I mean, we see rappers doing it. We see regular men doing it. We see a lot of different, people of different walks of life doing it, where they're just having babies everywhere, And at some point, grandma gonna give up. Like, what the hell? My son's out here being a whore, and I can't be in 15 different places all at once because, he's got all these babies everywhere, Some people try. I know a young lady who has several grandchildren, and she tries her best to check in on all of them, no matter what the relationship that her son has with the mothers, no matter what relationship her son has with the kids, she does her best to check in with those kids. And I know another young lady who has, a couple of grandkids, and she only focuses on one. but that's because that's the relationship she has with that child's mother. And I think that's the contrast, is that some people, like you were saying, it's what they, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's like what they want to put themselves into, or what they want to dedicate.
Because you could just be another bad decision. Let's be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Some people, some children are results of bad decisions.
Exactly.
So the family maybe could look at you, the woman, or the woman could be looking at the man, or if we're talking about the child in specific, as another bad decision by that person. And it's like, nah, bro, I'm not about to keep helping you, bailing you out in these bad decisions. That's your responsibility.
Right.
You feel me? You deal with that. I'm not about to put myself in that. You feel me? A lot of us, I mess with my mom all the time. I said, I'm the best mistake you and my dad ever made.
Right.
You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
You ain't no mistake. I said, Mom, ain't nowhere in hell you wanted to get pregnant with me at 16.
Right.
Okay? And neither you or my dad wanted to be teenage parents. I am a mistake that y'all kept. Thank you.
Right.
I love you for it. But that's not,
right.
You feel me? Let's not kid ourselves. You feel me? Let's not kid ourselves. A lot of us are mistakes.
Yeah, but I definitely agree. But I definitely agree with y'all in terms of this. You know, this statement is definitely not true for all families, true for all situations. Yeah. Like I said, for me, it was true, but only because of the scenario. Who knows if she had the relationship with them like I have with my kids? You know, that things could have gone differently, right? You know, I know in my situation on this flip side of being, you know, a parent, you know, I know that, you know, I mean, I don't really have anybody that's been abandoned or anything, but there's like, you know, my stepchildren who their stepfather may have walked out of their lives or whatever, but they've made contact with family members. Family members have reciprocated, and they've, you know, either built some kind of relationship, or they may have at least had some moments when there was things going on and they were able to make connections. So, you know, things can happen because people want to put themselves in that position to be able to make that connection, or they, you know, they choose to make that choice of I'm going to try.
Sometimes it's better to come at it later.
My family.
And sometimes it's better to come at it later, because, you know, when you have those situations where you have people that are just not getting along, it's hard to communicate and start that foundation of a relationship. So sometimes you have to just wait and do it later and come at it at a later angle. Like I know with my dad, he was going for the better part of my life. And it wasn't until as an adult, after I graduated high school, that we kind of tried to build a relationship. Whatever, we have a relationship. It's kind of weird, but it's something. But it happened as an adult because it wasn't going to happen as a kid, because, you know, and even sometimes now I struggle with him because it's like he has excuses, and it's like, yeah, no, none of that. Like, let's just get past all that. You fucked up, own it, moving right along. Let's go further. And you want to talk about how you fucked up way back when? It's like, okay, we got you now. From now on, this is the effect. Let's go forward.
Right.
And this question implies that and Sonny touched on it too, that the other or you might have said this too, Willie, that the other family knew you was in a relationship, or the other side of the family knew that person was already in a relationship. Because sometimes, you know, people like with me, you'll never know when I'm in a relationship.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I keep that to myself. You feel me? Because I don't like everybody in my business. You feel me? So if you'll know. So if I have a child, like even with my daughter, you know, most people didn't know me and her mother were in a relationship for a while, or talking for a while before that happened. So it's like sometimes the family may not even know. So like even like you said in your situation, Willie, the mom and dad may have a beef right before I know a lot of situations like that, to where when the mom is pregnant, the dad and the mom, they get into some whatever beef while that's going on, and then they split before the baby even come.
Right.
You feel me? And then that man, you know, he may not never even mention you to his family, or mention anything about that to his family.
Exactly.
So you know what I mean? The family didn't necessarily.
I might have been that secret that he wanted to keep.
Exactly. You know what I mean? So, you know, it's nuanced, so to speak. It's nuanced.
No doubt, no doubt. All right, it's about 11:15. I want to do one more, and this one is this one. There was a few things in here that I already knew about, but there was one in here that I didn't know about. So I was like, I want to share this. So this is a article I found in CNN. Here are 7 things you probably didn't know were connected to slavery. All right.
Cotton picking Negroes. Yes, I already knew that.
You said what?
No,
cotton picking Negroes. We already knew that.
Terrible. All right.
I can't remember.
Where's my hold on, here we go.
What's your sunny banner? Yes.
Here we go. There we go. All right. All right. So first off, New York life insurance.
Hold on. Wait a minute. We're not gonna sit past that like we need to see that. So hold on. You just have those banners waiting up in case somebody says something that you like. We don't agree with this. Not everybody is.
Yeah. We created that. That's why he called it the Sunny banner. We created this.
I hate y'all. Fuck Beyonce. I'm playing. How about that? Fuck the Beehive. Put mine there.
Can you put that up?
All right. So as most people know who know their history, New York Life, they owned a company previously called Nautilus Insurance, and they sold policies insuring the lives of enslaved people from 1846 to 1848. So their wealth has been built upon a history of insuring enslaved peoples over time. They insured over 500 people either identified as enslaved or from the records are likely to have been enslaved, and paid claims on 15 of those who died. I believe that they were insuring them for something like $300 to $600 each.
Oh, wow.
Yale University. Yale University is named after Elihu Yale, a former slave trader. So definitely has some strong connections to slavery. They even, came up with the hashtag Cancel Yale back in June, as well as I think there was talking about a name change, trying to change Yale's name. So that's definitely come up a few times. CSX Transportation, the predecessor to CSX, was the Richmond, Fredericksburg, and Potomac Railroad in Virginia, which CSX acquired back in 2003. They owned and hired enslaved Black people from 1834 when it was chartered until the end of the Civil War in '65. So they had a long-standing history of using slave labor for the railroad. So,
wow.
And sometimes some of these companies that acquired other companies, sometimes you kind of have to give that, in my opinion, you have to give that a pass, because it's like that's not their history. It may be their lineage, but it's not their history, right? You kind of have to look at that. But one thing I found very interesting, I did not know.
Wow.
Jack Daniel's whiskey, and I had heard something about this, but basically, Jack Daniel never owned enslaved people, but he learned to make whiskey from an enslaved person named Nathan Nearest Green, who was owned by a Lutheran minister at the time. So he bought the business from the minister, hired Green as his first head distiller. He actually hired him. And then they actually created a business called Uncle Nearest. And it's actually a Black, or I don't know if it's Black led, but it's a minority led business in honor of Uncle Nearest. And he definitely owes the lineage of Jack Daniel's whiskey to a Black man. So shout out Jack Daniel
from Jack Daniel's the mob.
I know, right? Exactly. I gotta find
the whiskey don't work, man.
So I can dedicate a shot to Uncle Nearest, doing this thing. So shout out to Jack Daniel and company. And I do know Jack Daniel has a long-standing history as well of using or not use. Well, you could say using too, of having spokespeople who are black entertainers and black business people who have endorsed their drinks and I think they even have a endorsement deal with a couple of singers right now. So shout out.
This is a free endorsement right here.
Say it again.
This free endorsement right here.
Daniel's over there, right? Wall Street. A lot of people know the history of Wall Street. Basically, Wall Street was built on slavery. It was built on as a slave market. It was a slave market in the 1700s, from 1711 to 1762. That should not be a mystery or new, anything new to anybody. If it is new to you, look up your history.
You should be fired as a black person.
Definitely slavery. And White House Capitol building, we all know that was built by enslaved people. That shouldn't be any mystery to anyone. Most of the presidents at that time owned slaves. But last but not least, this was a shock to me. George Washington, not that he owned slaves. We know he owned slaves. I think he either owned 2 or 1 slave for like most of his adult life. But he had a few here and there that came and gone. But what shocked me was this. According to this, it says, his ties to slavery are fairly known, but the extent of those connections may surprise some. Enslaved people formed part of Washington literally. Through the folklore, his false teeth were wooden, but that's not true. His mouth was full of teeth of walruses, hippopotamuses, and enslaved people's teeth. He paid enslaved people an undermarket rate for their teeth.
What?
So
yeah, I heard that before.
I had never heard about this. This was news to me. I know that I do know that was a thing. I knew that was something that was done. They would literally yank the teeth out of healthy men's mouths and create false teeth for white men with those teeth out of healthy slaves' mouths to create false teeth. So I guess
I did not know that. And that's
totally shocked that was something that the president of the United States was doing. But yeah, he was involved in that insane practice as well. It claims that he paid the people for their teeth under market, of course, but I have to question if he actually paid for those teeth. And then lastly is that Washington also signed the Fugitive Slave Act of 1793, which allowed enslavers to arrest fugitive enslaved people and reclaim them as property. So he was definitely not anti-slavery, definitely not the big hero for everyone. He was no doubt he definitely had his horrors that he participated in. So 7 things you may not have known was connected to slavery. Whew, they did some stuff to us, bro. I tell you, it's sad, it's crazy, but it's history. I
always think about all the stories that we'll never hear.
Yeah,
you feel me? Like when you run a business, they say like how come your business successful? It's the stories that we won't tell you. You feel me? Because to run a successful business, you got to do some things. Mm-hmm. You feel me? You got to push the limits, and so you got to imagine slavery was big business.
Right? Yeah,
slavery was big business. So imagine the stuff that the stories we'll never hear that they did to us to maximize their profits. You feel me? So
yeah,
like,
no doubt.
Deep.
No doubt. All right. Well, that was another great show in the books.
Yes.
Yes. I'm sorry, y'all.
Falling through. What would you say, Clint?
I'm about to doze off. I'm sorry.
Before this show, I'm a fall asleep right after it. Just like.
Now I know some people said it's been a long week already. It's only Monday, but it's been a long week already. So I feel y'all on that.
You know what? Honestly, Will, because we was talking Thursday about our fitness journey or whatever. Today I fasted.
Oh,
I fasted. So I didn't. Last thing I had ate was around 9:00 p.m. last night,
mm-hmm.
and I didn't eat until sunset today. Here in Trenton was 8:23.
Oh wow!
So I went that whole time. I had to drink some water because
Right.
you know with my condition I can't get dehydrated.
Yeah.
So I was drinking some water, and that's all I drank. You know what I mean? So I'm kind of down. So I'm gonna try to do this till Wednesday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, fast, and you know, and then when I Thursday and Friday, mainly when I eat during the day, it's just gonna be fruit and some vegetables.
Gotcha.
You feel me? That's the plan this week.
Yeah. I do intermittent fasting. So but my meal time ends around 6 or 7 p.m. So today I ate around 5:30. Ate dinner, and then so I won't eat again until 9 a.m. When I'll start eating again. So I'll eat between 9 and 6 each day, and that's it.
Okay.
I don't eat any time after 6 p.m. Or 7 p.m. I try to get myself up to 7. I usually don't eat that late. I usually eat around 5 or 6, and then I'm done for the day. And then I don't eat again. It took me a little time to get used to that. I used to try to go all the way until 11 when my lunchtime was. That was just too long. So 9 o'clock became a good sweet spot. It wasn't too early because I wake up at 5:45 in the morning. So
okay.
I'm already up almost 3.5 hours before I eat, and then I eat only up until 5 or 6 hours before I go to sleep. So.
Well, I've been watching people proactively exercising inside my house.
Oh, nice.
I've been watching people work out. I wasn't working out.
Keyword watching.
Bro, I thought she said
watching. I got dressed in workout clothes and everything. Like, okay, that's what we're doing.
Who's about to work out today?
Like they're like, "Oh, you working out today?" I'm like, "No, I'm just gonna sit and watch y'all." Like I may watch y'all, may go outside and catch the air and pour me a glass of wine. I'm on a stress diet, so I've already lost weight. I don't know what to tell y'all. Like my appetite, no, I'm serious. Like because I'm on a stress diet, I've been like my eating is all over the place. I can eat like today. I had food today. Tomorrow I'm cooking dinner. I probably won't eat shit. Like it's just like it's very terrible. Like my appetite is all over the place. Like I can cook a whole 4-course meal and just not want it after the fact because I'm so everywhere with it. And so yeah, my sister's like, "You losing weight though?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm watching y'all work out." I'm just sitting there like, okay.
Well, shout out to myself. I've lost 30 pounds so far. So, you know, I've been working hard to keep this to get this weight down, trying to keep it off. I got a lot more to go. I'm working on becoming a whole new man right before y'all eyes. So hopefully this journey continues to go as planned. I know I'm going to hit my plateau soon, but it just means I got to work harder, you know, push past it. You know, things have been going good. So
I'm gonna toot my horn a little bit too. Yesterday, I've been working hard. So I was telling Willie I've been jogging and everything.
Oh yeah.
I told him my fastest mile. Yesterday, I went walked and jogged 6.5 miles.
Ooh. Oh wow.
And 2 of those miles consecutive. The second mile and the third mile were my fastest miles in about 7-8 years.
Oh wow, really?
You know what I mean? Yes. I called up one of my friends, my boy Al, Sonny know Al. Called Al. Yeah, I said, Al, I need you to come out there. I said, because I need somebody to chase.
Oh, okay.
You feel me?
Right.
Not even chase. Because when I see him, I said, because we started off together. Now I looked at it, I said, bro, I need you to go. Don't worry, but go, Max. You know what I mean? Just leave me.
Right.
You feel me? Have me and me trying to catch him, keep up with him.
Okay.
You know, I push myself. You feel me? He basically dragged me along. You know what I mean? And 2 miles, that second and third mile, even the fourth mile was a fast time too, 17:07. But that second and third mile, that second and third mile was 16 minutes and 11 seconds and 16 minutes and 20 seconds. You feel me? So that's my, you know what I mean, that's my fastest in 7 years. I know that for a fact.
Right.
So,
no doubt. Congratulations on that, brother.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Yeah.
I don't know how much
And
weight
that
I
was
lost. I
before.
just can't fit my clothes like I used to, so I don't know.
Well, that was what motivated me. Is I couldn't fit certain clothes. As
No,
well
my
as,
clothes are like falling off me.
yeah, as well as I had I've been having a lot of issues, in the last few months, health wise, that just kind of sparked my realization that I needed to, get it together. Definitely need to get it together, and then finally stepping on a scale that could actually weigh me, and I was just like in shock how much I weighed. So I was just like, you know what, I got to change this. This is ridiculous. So I've been on this, just doing my best to. And to be honest, I mean, I might have lost actually more than 30 pounds. It's 30 pounds that I know about.
Yeah.
All I gotta say is stay healthy, because you get that one little injury is what sets you back. I hope none of y'all get that injury like I did recently, and I have a little setback, but hopefully I'll be back sometime this week.
Yeah, praying for you. Feel better.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
That's a wrap. Good people.
Wrap this show up. Go ahead. You want to wrap it up, Sonny?
Yes. I'm smiling because that's what I feel like doing. Don't mind me. I'm like
looking up the screen smiling.
She's like,
wrap it up.
Because I'm tired. Like y'all don't know. Like you don't understand this. I told Willie it's been a long week, and then we Monday. That's why I'm mad. When he said somebody said it was a long week, it was me.
Right.
Listen. I'm tired. I've been nonstop. I need a nap. I need a massage. My whole shoulder right here hurt. It's just terrible.
Man, those 24 hours is a long week, man. I know you hate me. I know you hate me.
We wait for you to back it up.
Shut up, Dame. Anywho, catch us Mondays at 10 p.m. on YouTube Live and Facebook Live. Catch the playback on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Google Play Music, Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, and Blog Talk Radio. And of course, you can come back and watch us on YouTube Live and Facebook Live. Give out your info, guys.
You already know it's your boy Smooth. You can catch me on my blog, thekingstruth.com, on Instagram, kingstruth609, on Twitter, which I be on the most, at @eTrentonGroomy, Snapchat at King's Truth as well. So, holla at your boy.
You can get at me at Willie Styles everywhere. That's STYLEZ. I'm Willie Styles on IG, Twitter, TikTok. I'm Willie.Styles on Snapchat. Or visit me over at stylesradio.com, where I just posted a bunch of new songs that I've been listening to. They've been dropping some hot tracks out there in these streets, so definitely go check that out. WillieStyles.info for all my links. Sonny?
And of course, it's your favorite girl. I am Sunny_D, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, and Tickety Talk. Go visit my website, unreservedlyme.com. I've been posting on TikTok this weekend, all my shenanigans. So check it out there.
The shenanigans are on fleek over there.
Yeah.
She been doing her thing.
Yeah, it's been like I said, I'm tired. My weekend, I had too much going on. I'm tired. But a copy our merchandise. Go to teespring.com/stores/GFT Radio. Get some merchandise. Like I said, support us while we support you guys and doing this podcast as much as we do it. Also, go to our website, GFTRadioshow.com, and all your social media sites like Twitter and Instagram at GFT_radio and GFT Radio on Facebook. Subscribe to this YouTube channel, y'all. Y'all be on it.
Yeah,
y'all
like, subscribe, hit the notification.
Like, subscribe, and hit the notifications. Y'all do this. Do it. Yeah, that's about it, guys. Clint.
Join the conversation, y'all. See y'all in a few days.
Actually, catch y'all in 7 days.
7.
Oh yeah, because we're not doing Thursday.
Yeah, we won't be on this Thursday, so definitely catch us next week.
See y'all in 7 days.
You get a break from us. I know you love looking at us, but you're gonna get a break.
Right. No doubt.
Right,
bye, guys.
Stay grown.